Seniors, just one daily habit to restore muscle strength like you're 40 again. You don't lose muscle because you're getting older. You lose it because you're not using the right habits. Imagine this. You stand up from your favorite chair, but your knees wobble. You walk to the kitchen, but your legs feel heavy like you're dragging weights. You reach for the stairs and pause because your body doesn't trust your legs the way it used to. For millions of older adults, this is the reality they quietly live with. It's not just weakness, it's the slow shrinking of freedom. But what if I told you that muscle loss isn't just an age problem, it's a habit problem? That's what this video is about, because studies now show that people in their 70s, 80s, even 90s can still build muscle if they give their body the right signals. No gym, no machines, no heavy lifting, just one habit a day, one shift, one small act of strength. In this video, I'll share the 7 most powerful daily habits that help restore and protect muscle strength in older adults, based on science, experience, and real-life transformations. We're not talking about magic, we're talking about momentum, because every step you take for your health, no matter how small, tells your body, hey, I still need you. Let's stay strong. Let's begin. A few years ago, I met a man named Frank. He was 80, a widower, and lived alone in a quiet neighborhood just outside of Cincinnati. He always wore the same brown cardigan, had kind eyes and a gentle way of speaking. But I'll never forget the day he looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I'm not afraid of aging. I'm afraid of becoming invisible, of needing help to stand up, to go upstairs, to cook my own breakfast." That hit me hard, because Frank wasn't just talking about physical weakness. He was talking about something many older adults feel but rarely say out loud: the fear of slowly losing control. He'd been feeling weaker for years. He used to play tennis, he used to garden, but then came the aches, then the fatigue, and eventually the self-doubt. He stopped going out as much, stopped taking his morning walks. He started avoiding the mirror. I asked him a simple question: what do your days look like now? His answer? Not much. I sit, I snack, I wait for the next day. That's when I knew it wasn't just his muscles that were shrinking, it was his life. So we didn't start with workouts or supplements. We started with one habit, one thing Frank could control consistently. He added 25 grams of protein to breakfast. He did 5 minutes of gentle leg lifts in the morning. He took a short walk after lunch, even just to the mailbox. And slowly, his strength came back, not just in his legs, but in his voice, his posture, his smile. 3 months later, he walked into my office and said, "I play ping pong with my grandson now. I'm not trying to be 40 again, I'm just happy to feel like myself again." Let's be clear about something important. You don't just wake up one day and lose your muscle. It happens slowly, quietly, like pages falling off a calendar. A little less strength when getting out of bed, a little more hesitation before walking downstairs. And before you know it, the things you used to do without thinking now feel like a challenge. That's what happened to Frank, who's 80. For most of his life, Frank was strong. A former carpenter, a family man, always the first to help carry something heavy. But in the last few years, he felt it. He couldn't open jars like before. He used the armrest every time he stood up. He stopped climbing the porch steps 2 at a time. He thought it was just getting older. But what was really happening was sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. It typically starts in your 40s and accelerates after age 60. By the time someone turns 80, they may have lost up to 50% of their muscle mass. And it doesn't just affect movement. It affects independence, energy, balance, confidence. But here's the good news. Muscle loss isn't inevitable. It's not permanent, and it's not too late. Muscle is one of the most adaptive tissues in your body. It listens and responds at any age. And with the right daily signals, even gentle ones, your body can rebuild strength, improve coordination, and regain stability. What are those signals? The right nutrients, the right movements, the right timing, the right recovery. This video walks you through 7 simple, science-backed habits that help older adults restore muscle naturally. So if you've been feeling weaker, or if you've told yourself, "I guess this is just part of aging," let me gently challenge that today. Because Frank, at 80, started these habits. And now, he's walking taller, sleeping better, and feels like he's in control again. Habit number 1, progressive resistance training. The best anti-aging drug, strength training, especially for your legs. Let's start with the habit that delivers the biggest payoff. If you could only choose one thing to help restore muscle strength, balance, independence, and energy, this is it. Progressive resistance training, also called strength training or resistance exercise. This includes chair squats, wall push-ups, lifting light weights, resistance band movements, and even just slow, controlled movements using your own body weight. The word progressive simply means start where you are and gradually increase effort over time. So no, you don't need to go to a gym. You don't need to lift heavy weights. You just need to challenge your muscles in small, consistent ways. Why it works? As we age, we naturally lose fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones that help us react quickly and stay balanced. These fibers are only preserved when they're used regularly. Resistance training preserves and builds muscle mass, improves coordination and posture, stimulates bone growth, reduces fall risk, and boosts confidence in daily movement. It's not about bodybuilding, it's about staying capable. At 80, Frank started with wall push-ups and sit-to-stands from a chair. At first, he could barely do 3, but after a few weeks, he was doing 10% with better form and less effort. He said, "Now I get up from the couch without groaning, and my grandkids ask what I've been eating." How to begin? Start with 2 to 3 sessions per week, just 15 minutes each. Focus on compound movements, using multiple joints, like squats, push-ups. Slow, controlled lowering, called eccentric movement. Gradual progression, add reps, time, or resistance slowly. You can use a sturdy chair, a wall, resistance bands, light dumbbells, 2 to 5 pounds. And if you're recovering or have joint issues, isometric holds, holding a position without movement, are an excellent place to start. Pro tip: pair strength training with protein-rich meals, especially after workouts, to support muscle repair and growth. The bottom line? You're never too old to build strength. The body is waiting for the signal, and every squat, every lift, every push is a quiet message to your muscles. You still matter, you're still needed, let's move. Habit number 2, strengthen neuromuscular connections. Strong muscles are important, but strong brain-to-muscle connections? That's where real balance begins. Have you ever tripped over something small, not because it was in the way, but because your foot just didn't react fast enough? Or missed a step, not from weakness, but from hesitation? That's not just about muscle. That's about the nervous system, the brain's ability to communicate clearly with your muscles. As we age, these connections can weaken, just like muscles do. But the good news is, they can be trained and strengthened. We call this the neuromuscular connection, the pathway between your brain and body that controls movement, balance, and coordination. Why does it matter? Because when this connection is sharp, you move with more confidence, your risk of falling decreases, your reaction time improves, and you feel more in control of your body. How to strengthen it? It's not about lifting heavier, it's about engaging the brain while moving. Here are a few simple, science-backed ways. Tai Chi, slow, intentional movements that improve coordination. Dancing, challenges timing, rhythm, footwork, and balance. Tennis or ping pong, improves reaction time and brain muscle signaling. Mindful walking, focus on your steps, breath, posture. Eye tracking while moving, practice looking left-right while walking. Balance drills, like standing on one foot for 15 to 30 seconds. The more your brain has to think while moving, the more your neuromuscular system adapts and sharpens. Frank's experience: he started with something simple, balancing on one leg while brushing his teeth. At first, he could only hold for 5 seconds. Now, 30 seconds, no countertop needed. He said, "It's not about being fast, it's about feeling connected again." Bonus tip: nutritional support. Certain nutrients support nerve health and signaling. Vitamin B12, alpha-lipoic acid, acetyl-L-carnitine, omega-3 fatty acids. These can be found in foods like salmon, walnuts, eggs, and leafy greens, or taken as supplements if needed. The takeaway? Muscle without coordination is like a car without a steering wheel. To truly move better, you need both strength and smart signaling. And the good news? Your body is always listening. Even now. Let's give it something worth responding to. Habit number 3, micronutrient optimization. It's not just about calories or protein. It's about the small, mighty nutrients that power everything behind the scenes. You've probably heard a lot about protein, and yes, it's essential for muscle. But what many people overlook is this. Even with enough protein, you can't build or maintain muscle if your body is missing key micronutrients. Micronutrients are vitamins and minerals that support muscle repair, nerve signaling, oxygen delivery, energy production, inflammation control. Think of them as the spark plugs in your body. Without them, the engine doesn't run, no matter how much fuel you have. Common deficiencies in older adults. Many seniors are low in these 6 key nutrients. 1. Magnesium. Helps with muscle relaxation and energy metabolism. 2. Creatine boosts muscle strength and recovery. 3. Vitamin B12, methylated, supports nerve health and energy. 4. Zinc aids muscle repair and immune strength. 5. Selenium fights oxidative stress that damages muscle tissue. 6. Chromium helps with blood sugar balance, reducing fatigue. These nutrients are often low due to poor absorption with age, medications that deplete minerals, diets lacking variety, chronic stress or illness. Real-life insight. A woman I spoke with, Margaret, 78, told me she was doing everything right. Protein shakes, walking daily, yet still felt exhausted and achy. Turns out she was low in magnesium and B12, 2 silent energy stealers. After just 3 weeks of adding magnesium-rich foods and a quality B12 supplement, she said, "I finally feel like I'm getting something back. Not just strength, but hope." How to support micronutrient levels naturally. Magnesium, found in spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds, avocados. B12 methylated in eggs, dairy, fish, or sublingual supplements. Zinc in beef, shellfish, beans, cashews. Selenium, Brazil nuts, just 1 to 2 per day, tuna, turkey. Creatine in red meat and as a supplement, 3 to 5 grams per day is safe. Chromium in broccoli, oats, barley, and some multivitamins. Get labs checked once a year, especially B12, magnesium, and zinc. Even borderline low can make a difference in how you feel. The message? Muscle isn't built by effort alone. It needs materials, and the micronutrients are the tools. Don't let something so small become the reason you feel so tired. Sometimes 1 Brazil nut and a handful of spinach a day really can move the needle. Habit number 4, inflammation management. Chronic inflammation is the silent thief of strength, and most seniors don't even know it's there. You might not feel it as pain, you might not see swelling or redness, but inside your body, low-grade inflammation could be breaking down your muscle tissue, slowing your recovery, making you feel stiff, tired, or even foggy. It's one of the biggest reasons older adults lose strength faster, even if they're eating well and staying active. The good news? You can manage it. Let's talk about how. What is inflammation, really? Inflammation is your body's natural defense system. It kicks in when you're injured, stressed, or fighting infection. But sometimes, this system gets stuck in on mode, especially as we age. That's when it becomes chronic and starts doing damage quietly, day by day. How does it affect muscles? Chronic inflammation increases levels of cytokines, chemicals that break down muscle proteins and block new growth. It also affects energy production, joint flexibility, sleep quality, blood flow to muscles. So even if you're doing the right things, inflammation might be blocking your progress. Frank's turning point. Frank, 80, told me he was eating more protein and doing light exercises, but still felt sluggish and sore. Turns out he wasn't sleeping well, and his diet was high in processed snacks. After shifting to anti-inflammatory foods and improving sleep, everything changed. He said, "I didn't realize how much inflammation was holding me back until I felt what it was like to move without it." How to manage inflammation naturally. Eat anti-inflammatory foods, fatty fish, salmon, sardines, leafy greens, spinach, kale, berries, blueberries, raspberries, turmeric, ginger, olive oil, nuts, seeds. Avoid inflammatory triggers, processed meats, fried or sugary foods, refined carbs, excess alcohol. Get better sleep. 7 to 8 hours helps reduce inflammatory hormones. Move regularly but gently. Walking, stretching, yoga, all reduce inflammation naturally. Manage stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which fuels inflammation. Pro tip: try a simple anti-inflammatory breakfast. Oatmeals, blueberries, walnuts, turmeric tea. It nourishes your body and calms inflammation before the day begins. Final thought: you don't need to fight fire with fire. You fight inflammation with gentleness and consistency. Because healing doesn't shout, it whispers. Habit number 5, optimum. Vitamin D isn't just a sunshine vitamin. For seniors, it's a foundation of muscle, balance, and confidence. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked yet powerful nutrients, vitamin D. It's called the sunshine vitamin because your skin makes it when exposed to sunlight. But as we age, that process slows down, and many older adults spend more time indoors, wear sunscreen, or live in areas with less sun. The result? Over 80% of seniors in the US are deficient in vitamin D's tar, and most have no idea. Why does vitamin D matter so much? Because it helps your body absorb calcium, maintain strong bones, regulate muscle contractions, prevent falls and fractures, support mood and brain function. Low vitamin D has been linked to muscle weakness, poor balance, slow reaction time, increased risk of falling, even higher risk of depression. Frank's wake-up call. Frank told me he had been feeling unusually tired and wobbly. He assumed it was just normal aging. A blood test showed his vitamin D level was 18 nanograms per milliliter, far below the ideal of 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter. After 8 weeks of sunlight walks and 2,000 IU daily supplementation, he said, "I thought I was just slowing down. Turns out my body just needed more light." How to improve your vitamin D levels naturally. Sunlight. Aim for 15 to 30 minutes of sun exposure on your arms or legs. 3 to 4 times per week, preferably mid-morning or late afternoon. Foods rich in vitamin D. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, egg yolks, fortified milk and cereals, mushrooms, especially UV exposed. Supplements. Most seniors benefit from 1,000–2,000 IU per day. Some may need more. Always check with your doctor and monitor blood levels. Pro tip: take vitamin D with a meal that contains fat, like avocado, olive oil, nuts. It's fat soluble and absorbs better that way. The takeaway? Vitamin D isn't optional. It's essential, not just for bones, but for movement, mood, and muscle coordination. Your body doesn't just want light, it runs on it. Habit 6, protein timing. It's not just how much protein you eat, it's when you eat it that helps your muscles grow. Most people know that protein is important for muscles, but here's something many seniors don't realize. Your body can only use so much protein at one time. If you eat all your protein in one big meal, like dinner, you're missing out on the chance to build muscle throughout the day. The science behind it. Your body builds and repairs muscle through a process called muscle protein synthesis, MPS. This process needs 2 things. 1, a trigger, like movement or strength training. Number 2, a steady supply of protein spread throughout the day. Research shows that spreading 25 to 30 grams of protein across 3 meals a day is up to 25% more effective than having it all at once. Why? Because muscles need regular reminders to grow, just like watering a plant multiple times instead of dumping a whole bucket once. What this looks like. Breakfast. 2 eggs, Greek yogurt, 25 grams protein. Lunch. Tuna salad with beans or chicken breast. Dinner. Salmon with veggies and quinoa, 30 grams. Even without counting exact grams, just aim to have a good source of protein at every meal. Frank's protein shift. Frank used to eat toast and coffee for breakfast, and most of his protein came at dinner. After adjusting his routine, adding eggs in the morning and a handful of almonds at lunch, he told me, "I don't feel that afternoon crash anymore. I feel steady, like my body is being fed when it needs it." Why this matters for seniors? As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using protein. This is called anabolic resistance. meaning you need more protein more often to get the same effect. That's why protein timing becomes critical for older adults. Best protein-rich foods for seniors: eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, chicken, turkey, fish, tofu, tempeh, beans and lentils, protein shakes, whey or plant-based. The bottom line? Don't just think about how much protein. Think about when and how often you give your body this essential building block. Because when your muscles are fed regularly, they don't just survive, they thrive. Habit 7, hormetic stress. A little bit of stress isn't harmful. In fact, the right kind of stress can help your muscles stay young. We've spent this video talking about how to feed and support your muscles. Now let's talk about how to challenge them, gently. There's a concept in science called hormesis. It means that a small dose of stress can actually make the body stronger, healthier, and more resilient. It's the same idea behind vaccines, weight training, intermittent fasting, cold showers, or sauna therapy. These things create controlled stress, just enough to signal your body, hey, we still need you, stay sharp, adapt. How does hormetic stress help muscle health? It activates longevity genes, like FOXO and AMPK, improves mitochondrial function, your body's energy engines, boosts circulation and oxygen delivery, stimulates muscle recovery, increases insulin sensitivity, better energy use. In short, it helps your body grow stronger under challenge, not collapse. Simple ways to add good stress to your routine. Cold exposure. Try a 30-second cool shower at the end of your warm shower. Or step outside in the morning, chill for 2 minutes. Heat therapy. Sauna. Sitting in a sauna, even infrared, for 15 to 20 minutes improves circulation and recovery. Isometric exercises. Hold a wall sit, plank, or leg raise for 10 to 30 seconds. It activates deep stabilizer muscles without joint strain. Intermittent fasting with medical approval. Limit eating window to 10 to 12 hours. Example, breakfast at 8 a.m., last meal by 6 p.m. Short bursts of effort. Walk up a hill, do 20 seconds of brisk walking, or climb stairs quickly once per day. Frank's favorite? Cold water. He finishes every shower with 30 seconds of cool water, then does 15 seconds of wall sit while drying off. He says, "At first I hated it. Now it makes me feel more alive than coffee ever did." Important note, these stressors should be brief, controlled, and safe. The goal is not discomfort, but adaptation. Always listen to your body and talk to your doctor before starting new routines. The bottom line, stress isn't always bad. When used wisely, it becomes a signal, a reminder to your muscles and your mind. You're still here, you're still capable, let's keep going. If there's one message we hope you take from today, it's this: you are not powerless. Yes, your muscles may have changed. Yes, your balance may feel different. Yes, you may wake up feeling slower than before. But none of that means you're done. Because muscle, like hope, is something that can be rebuilt. We've covered a lot today. How to challenge your body gently with strength training. How to reconnect your brain and muscles through mindful movement. How small nutrients create big change. How inflammation quietly slows you down. How light, protein, and timing give your muscles the fuel they need. How short bursts of healthy stress can bring you back to life. These aren't trends, they're not gimmicks. They're science-backed habits that work, especially when done with consistency and kindness. Frank at 80 didn't do everything perfectly. He didn't start all 7 habits at once. He just chose one and stuck with it. And slowly, he felt his legs again. He looked forward to mornings. He took back the version of himself he thought was gone. So what about you? What's one habit from this video you're willing to try this week? Because you don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Your body isn't giving up on you. It's waiting for a signal. Let today be the day you send it. If this video made you feel seen, hopeful, or simply understood, we're so glad you're here. Because healing isn't just about information, it's about feeling less alone on the journey. If something today spoke to you, if one habit stood out, or sparked a quiet, maybe I could try that, that's enough. Let us know in the comments. What's the one habit you'll start with this week? And if you know someone who's been feeling stuck, share this with them. Your small act might be the turning point in their life. Subscribe to Wise Living and join a growing circle of people who believe that small steps still matter, even at 60, 70, or 80. We'll be back next week with another gentle, science-backed video to help you move better, feel stronger, and live with more ease. Until then, take one deep breath, one kind step, one nourishing bite, and we'll walk this path together. This is where every step you take for your health today becomes a gift for your tomorrow.